Hey everyone, today I've got your Neighbors 2 Sorority Rising movie review. This sequel now involves a sorority instead of a fraternity who are taking over the house next door to a family now of 4, and will this family get them to leave like they tried the first time? As far as the story goes, what should technically be called Neighbors 2 Sorority Downfall, thanks to my good friend Jerome Latimer. I was really looking forward to seeing this movie because I really did enjoy watching the first Neighbors movie, which had that whole fraternity thing going on with Zac Efron, and then Seth Rogen was getting all fixated on having this fraternity leave because they were being loud and obnoxious, and you would think that a sorority would not be the same way. Well, in this movie, that is not the case. They are really crazy and rude and loud and obnoxious, and something that I feel like a sorority should not be like. I was really curious to know what was all going to happen. This is like a brand new type of movie. I, quite frankly, didn't really enjoy myself watching this movie like I thought I was going to. As far as the casting goes, you've got Seth Rogen, who basically right off the bat in this movie is making love to his wife, and that's something that I wasn't expecting to see like the first few seconds of this film, and I thought it was just really weird, and I'm thinking, why are they bothering to do that? Now, I know he can be a funny guy. I mean, he does try to have this competition with Zac Efron, who is clearly now taking sides with the sorority, trying to teach them what to do, because clearly he got ousted by his friends, and now he feels like he needs to have this sorority to build him back up. And I don't know how much building he can do, because with those muscles, he can probably do a lot of heavy lifting nowadays. Rose Byrne, who is once again having another kid in this movie, and I would say that she is pretty funny in this movie, like I have seen her over the years, and I really enjoy watching her on screen, especially next to Seth Rogen. I think they really make a good dynamic duo. It is pretty funny, the scenes that she is in, so I really like having her in this type of movie, especially being another female among all these other females in this sorority led by Chloe Grace Moretz, who I felt like was kind of an interesting choice to be in this movie, considering she's in all of these like teenager young adult movies nowadays, like that Fifth Wave movie that I'm not even going to get into. It's just not the right fit for me, especially when I thought that Selena Gomez was going to be partially headlining this movie. I guess her short little appearance in this film didn't really make me love it even more. And of course, Lisa Kudrow returns as this, I guess, dean of the college, and now she is just really obnoxious and annoying, and she's kind of like her character from Easy A, and it makes me really hate her. And then you've got Dave Franco, who once again returns, and who would have thought that his character was gay, and now he's getting engaged to this other guy who wants to kick Zac Efron out of their house, which is how he ended up getting involved with the sorority. Casting choices overall and the acting did not really impress me. The things that I did like about this movie, I really like the fact that this movie tried to be different with that concept of having a sorority taking over instead of a fraternity. I mean, how unoriginal can you get? But then some scenes were entertaining and they were kind of funny, but I would say I wasn't really laughing my head off watching this movie, even though I could relate to the whole sorority scene. The things that I didn't really like about this movie, I was really surprised at some of the things that I was hearing and seeing while watching this movie. It had a clear feminist agenda. It was just nonstop talking about feminists and anything related to females and women's rights and all of this stuff, trying to bring out these different issues that I felt were kind of unnecessary for a movie like this. I mean, we already have that issue with that all-female-led Ghostbusters movie, and I don't think this is the type of message that we need to be sending in movies with a mostly female cast. And there were times when it was racist, and it was sexist, and I just couldn't stand what was going on. I mean, especially this is kind of TMI, but there was like a scene with tampons. That was kind of gross. There were untimed jokes that I really felt fell flat, and I didn't really laugh at those for that reason. And ultimately, this movie was just unfunny, and I really couldn't relate to the things that were going on, especially when you have a lot of rehashed scenes from the previous Neighbors movie. So overall, I would say that Neighbors 2 Sorority Rising was not the best sequel, and maybe, even though I think it would have been cool to see a sequel, maybe it didn't really deserve to have a sequel. So I'm kind of on the fence about that. I don't think I'll be able to recommend seeing this movie, but I mean, if you did love the first movie, you might like this, but for me, that was not the case, so who knows. So I would give this 1 heart on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Neighbors 2 Sorority Rising, and how does this compare to the first Neighbors film. And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates coming up week for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.